You want more Pokemon? Well, that's what you're getting, regardless of how you feel. I feel like the lunch lady slapping the stuff onto the tray. This is what we're serving. End of discussion. So what are we even doing in this game? It's only been like 5 days since the last episode, but it feels like it's been 40 years. I don't think the Shadow Pokemon officially appear in this episode. I think that's the third one. So we don't have that to look forward to. At least not in the next 13 minutes. So here's the PC system. That's pretty cool, huh? We only have the 2 Pokemon. But each of the boxes has a unique background. You had a Sahara and a water box and all that fancy stuff. It's pretty cool. So did you hear Eric Andre's coming back for a 5th season? What's that got to do with Pokemon, you're probably wondering. I don't know, but anyway, yeah, that's pretty neat. Eric Andre. Hannibal Buress won't be in as many episodes though, so that's kind of disappointing. Boy, that guy who just went past was pretty crazy looking, huh? He's very clearly the villain, you can tell just by looking at him. And this character on screen right now, he's also the villain, but the characters don't know that yet. That will be revealed at the end. Sorry for spoiling a 2003 Pokemon game. I know you had spent the last 17 years waiting to play this, and now it's completely ruined because this Let's Play with 2 views spoiled the critical plot detail. I apologize for doing that. I apologize for ruining your 17-year wait. What's this guy even talking about? Pokemon this, Pokemon that. He talks about the Pokemon Stadium, not the N64 game though. Wouldn't make sense for characters in the game to reference a different video game that you could not buy at a store at the time of release. They got a robe on the bed over there. You think that belongs to the fat man we were just talking to? Or whose is that? Who is it? What is it? What am I saying? I'm just making noises at this point. There was an old lady just standing around doing nothing. So, when I was recording this dialogue, he said to go to the Pokemon Stadium. I was only half paying attention. And I thought this building here was the Pokemon Stadium, because the thing he was actually referring to doesn't actually become available in the game until much later. So it's a bit misleading in that regard, especially when you're extra stupid like me and you miss 80% of the dialogue. So this part's not really necessary, but because past me kinda got misdirected, we're just gonna slog our way through it for the rest of the episode. So here we go. You ready to watch Espeon use Confusion and Umbreon use Bite 50 times over the course of 10 minutes? I know I am. They're gonna make some pod people just rise up out of the ground like that? It's supposed to be an elevator, but it's too weird. And away we go. Cool Trainer Botan, the iconic character that everyone remembers. So he's got 2 harmless grass types. If I haven't already mentioned it in a previous episode, I like the shade of pink that they used for Hoppip in this particular game. I feel like if they had given him a larger shade of pink, it wouldn't have... larger. If they had given him a lighter shade of pink, it wouldn't have looked as good, but the one they went with is quite visually appealing. Wouldn't you agree? Once he comes on screen again. Whenever that may be. Yeah, you can kind of see him. Yeah, there he is. That's a good shade of pink. So these are all second gen Pokemon on screen. I remember when the second gen first started, and 6-year-old me was quite confused at the idea that suddenly there were new Pokemon and nobody had told me. It just presented me with these strange creatures I had never seen and said, "These are Pokemon." And 6-year-old me thought, well, maybe they're just Digimon or something. That clearly these aren't Pokemon, that ain't a Squirtle, that ain't a Magmar. You're trying to rip me off is what you're trying to do. What are these things? But eventually I came around to the idea that there were new ones. 810, whatever that symbol was for winning. I gotta call them Poké-dollars or whatever. If they just had the regular dollar sign, that would actually be really weird if they were using real legal US currency in the world of Pokemon. That would not make sense. So here's Trainer 2. Ooh. Now the previous trainer had grass types, and this one has water types. So what do you think the third one's gonna have? You know, I think I might be a little too old for Pokemon. Moments like this really just kinda drive that point home. So here we go again. Espeon uses Confusion, and what's-his-face uses Bite. Again and again and again. I wanted to get 10 episodes of this series, but I'm starting to have second thoughts. This is all excessively repetitive. I remember reading the Game Informer review of Pokemon Colosseum, almost called it Stadium. The Pokemon Colosseum review back when this came out, and the crusty 40-year-old man who wrote the review was saying, if they had had Pokemon when I was 10 years old, I would have been super into it. I would have been that annoying kid on your block who was all Pokemon this and Pokemon that every day. But they didn't have it, so that didn't happen. Didn't come out until I was a bitter old adult, so I have no attachment to this at all. That was more or less the text of the review. Or perhaps that was just a preview. I'll have to look through my old Game Informer magazines from 2003 and see if I can find that one particular clip. That one particular excerpt, I guess you could call it. But I've got so many of them it would be kinda difficult to find. I've got Game Informers ranging from about maybe 3 years, totaling about 36 issues. And also a fair amount of Nintendo Powers too. I remember once about 8 years ago I was trying to find a specific article from like the retro flashback section, and I didn't know which issue it was in, and so it was very difficult to track down what it was. I just remembered they referenced some unusual SNES game that had an art style that looked nothing like anything else that was on the SNES, and I wanted to find it, but that was very tricky to do when you have so many issues and you don't know which one it is. Anyway, the game in question that the article was the subject of the article was Another World, or was it called Outer Worlds? You know, that series. So yeah, and I never did get around to playing that. But at least I figured out what it was, so that's pretty cool, huh? So there we go again. Confusion and Bite. The greatest combo in the history of Pokemon. Holy crap, Lois. What the hell's the brown thing's name? Swinub used Odor Sleuth. If I gave these episodes proper titles, I could title this Episode 3, Swinub used Odor Sleuth. Gosh, I'm disappointed in myself that it took me that long to remember Swinub's name, even though it had been on screen mere seconds ago. And it also took me a while to remember the name of the move. I feel like my brain's starting to process information a bit slower than it used to. I hope my mind isn't dying. It wouldn't be anything of great loss if it was, though. There ain't no thoughts of value in my head, and there never have been. Every day it's just dumb, dumb, dumb. Ever see that Cartoon Network skit they used to do, Dumb Puppet Dumb? Probably not. So that's 3 in a row. This dialogue is just junk. It's all just, wow, the Pokemon did the thing, and then the other set of Pokemon also did the thing. I'm impressed by your Pokemon skills. You will truly go on to become the greatest Pokemon master in all of Pokemon land someday. So the opening dialogue for this character didn't give us any hint as to what type they were using. And it was rock type, apparently. So there it is, rock type. Yeah, so are there really any differences, competitive play-wise, between a rock type and ground type? That they're both weak to water, they're both weak to grass, they're both resistant to fire. Surely there's some distinction, isn't there? Otherwise they wouldn't have 2 separate types. I think rock is super effective on bug, though. I think that's the distinction, unless there's others. Holy crap, Lois, that was just a regularly effective move, and look at how much damage it did. That's so crazy, as Blaze the movie fan would say. You think Blaze the movie fan's ever gonna watch this Let's Play? It's just sitting in some obscure corner of the internet? I think we already know the answer to that question. There you have it, folks. 4 trainers in a row. The final guy won't fight us just yet, though. We gotta come back. He'll explain all of that in due time. Now, why did she say the battling style was too sophisticated for us when she was the one that lost? That sounded like more of a winning quote, you know? So here's Cool Guy McGee. He's gonna give us, oh, by the way, that item he gave us, all you Pokemaniacs gotta keep me informed here. Is that just a one-time use item? Because I know it's a held item, but I don't know if it disappears after it's used once as it's held, or what the deal is. So all you no-life Pokemon people could maybe fill me in on that in the comments, eh?